Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is George, I am 29 years old, and this is the story of how I've gotten here and how I have done so many things in the last 6 years and still feeling lost. So, I was born in Mexico. I moved to California when I was 5 years old due to circumstances that were not under my control. That's how I learned English. I've always been a US citizen since I have memory. Then I moved back to Mexico and I started studying my law degree at 17 years old. I have a master's degree in law as well. And back in 2020, my mom and I decided to move to Austin. That was 6 years ago. This month, 6 years ago. So when we first moved here, it was really, really hard. Everything was closing down because of COVID. We literally knew nobody here. We had no family, no help, no credit score, no nothing. And the first day that we arrived, I got a job in a Mexican restaurant. That was not what my plans were. With my master's degree, I was planning on doing like imports and exports from Mexico to the United States and the other way around as well. That was kind of changed because of COVID and all the circumstances that were like back in 2020. And we were really struggling. It was just my mom and I here in Austin with no help, with nobody. And after that, we just kept on working. There was nothing else to do. We managed to both secure a job in a grocery store, a Mexican grocery store here in Texas. And since then, we've just been nonstop working, grinding, and doing all these things. For 2 years, I had two jobs, and I was saving up a lot. I also invested a little bit in stocks, in crypto, and managed to save up enough money to buy a house. My brother later on joined us from California. When he moved here from California, he was like very fragile mentally. He was dealing with a drug addiction. So I set it to be my life mission to help him get clean, to get a job, to, just get better. And for 2 years, he did really good. That's why I bought such a big house here in like the Austin area. Not exactly Austin, Texas, but east of Austin. I bought a 5-bedroom house, mom, brother, and I. And then I wanted to have a little office space, and I wanted to have like a room for visitors or family or anybody that would come visit us from Mexico. A little bit after I bought the house, I had enough money saved up after I gave the down payment. So after grinding a lot, working really hard, and after like a lot of like really hard life circumstances, like my dad passing away and my brother falling into drug addiction, I just figured we've been working really hard, and I just decided to take my whole family, my mom, my brother, and I, to Europe. It was really fun. We had never been to Europe. That was my mom's biggest dream. My brother had a great time as well. When we came back, my brother fell back into drug addiction, and I was really trying to help him. And just, anybody that's dealt with drug addiction and like being a family member is really hard. And when it gets to a point where things are really scary, there's, not much you can do. He started having issues with the police and things like that. And I was just like working really hard. He didn't want to work. He was like, breaking the walls and doing this whole mess. He really scared my mom and I a couple of times. So he had to move out of my house, and we helped him relocate in Mexico. The reason for him to relocate in Mexico was for rehab purposes. We looked for some resources here in the US, and it was not very easy to get him help. So he's been in and out of rehab in Mexico. A little bit after my brother left Austin, I got into a really bad car accident. I literally just got out of surgery 5 months ago, I believe. So even though I feel like I've made it, I bought a house, I drive the car that I really like. I try to help my mom a lot as well. And even though I've done all these things and I've been through all these things and stayed consistent, I still feel very lost today. Um, I really want to build a company, and I've had some opportunities to do so. Some partners have shown up along the way, and it's just like sometimes opportunities are not what they seem. If you just like stay for a second and like think about them and analyze them, a lot of times people just really want to get something from you, and they just want all the benefits, and they just want you to kick your butt and work, like as much as you can for them. So now I started this journey of YouTube, and I really want to detail my current situation. After being in a car accident and all that stuff that I told you guys, right now, after 2 years after that car accident, I'm barely starting to rebuild my life. After my brother left, I almost lost my house. I couldn't pay my mortgage. So I had to sacrifice a little bit of my privacy. And I got some roomies for my house because it was just my mom and I in a really big house. And we're like, why do we need all this space, And we just started to kind of exploit some of the possibilities. And I was like, we're just going to get roomies. Honestly, that's been like the best thing I could have done because I was very close to losing my house. The day after I got into a car accident, I had an interview for a job, and I still went to the interview. I got the job, I landed the job, I stayed there for a little bit, but I was just like super dizzy. I had pain all over my body. I had to get medical help. I had to slow down a little bit, even though I had like all these objectives before the car accident and before my brother's stuff happened. So I've stayed very, very resilient to all these things. I think that the biggest secret to all of these things is, first off, my mom and I are a team, really big team. She's my hero. And the second one is consistency. Like, no matter what is happening, you just got to grind and keep on going forward. I also think that, thanks to having roomies and trying to do these other little like side hustles that, and maybe another video we'll talk about, thanks to that kind of idea of just using what you have and exploit it, even though you have to, sometimes do like have a little bit of sacrifices. It's been really good. I honestly just came back from Japan. That's where this hat is from. We had a great time. There's some like pics in my Instagram, I might share a video of Japan soon. And yeah, that's life. I don't know if you guys want to talk about a little bit of past experiences that I've had, helping family with addiction, building a business, building a brand, managing a restaurant. There's a bunch of subjects that we could actually talk about. I think there's a lot of things that I could help you guys with and give you advice on. I also lead my life a lot with tarot and astrology. It's not like I completely live my life by it, but I do find tarot to be a tool for introspection, and it's helped me a lot through these last 6 years here in Austin. So, that's kind of my introduction video. I don't know what you guys want to listen to, and just let me know down in the comments below.